I do not know about you, but for me, this was Andre Onana's best game in a Manchester United jersey by far. Welcome to the United Hotspot. Here is my official match reaction to our victory over Aston Villa. Now, we have spoken about this guy, and I'm one who loves to give flowers to players when they turn their seasons around. We all know that Andre Onana was a good goalkeeper at Inter Milan when he warranted a £50 million signing to join Manchester United. But hasn't he taken a game too long for him to get his foot right? I think it has happened. Second consecutive game, Onana is playing well. He played so well against West Ham United, but people were still not convinced. Boy, didn't he save us against Aston Villa? I honestly think Harry Maguire will take the credit because, yes, he was man of the match. There is no doubt. He was a man of the match because he assisted and he cleared the line so well. And he's an outfield player. But if Onana had kept a clean sheet, probably would have been the man of the match. But even if he had been awarded the man of the match, even with the result, I still think no one would have refuted it. In fact, for me, I think he was a better performer in the game than Harry Maguire. Yes, Maguire did well, don't get it twisted. But for me, my man of the match was Andre Onana. Onana saved us in this game. He was putting every foot right when Victor Lindelof was coming on and making the wrong moves because he was a bit, soft a bit at times. Onana was always coming to the party. He had moments where he was directly in front of an opponent, an Aston Villa player, and he still cleared the ball. When Onana is calm and not speaking about people in the stands, he is a good goalkeeper, and he showed it. He was blocking. I honestly think, guys, we've called out Onana for so long, but I think the reality is Onana at times is too exposed, especially when we don't have Lisandro Martinez. Our centre backs at times are bad, yes, whereas Rafael Varane and Harry Maguire did well for us to be able to win the game. I think when it comes to 1v1 situations, they're a bit exposed. Lisandro Martinez is the only good centre back we have who is good on 1v1s. In fact, of all our defenders, Diogo Dalot is beginning to look impressive with his 1v1s. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is impeccable. Lisandro Martinez is probably the best. But when he's not there in the middle, guys run through us in the middle. You saw, like in that game, when it became almost a tennis game, like Eric Ten Hag spoke after the game. Harry Maguire called it a basketball game, especially in the second half, because we are making wrong decisions and trying to go to make counters so fast and making wrong decisions, and that's why they would come directly back at us so fast. We were exposing Onana so much, but he was always equal to the task. Let us give him his credit. He was so concentrated. He was communicating well. He had a moment where he went off for Harry maguire because Maguire was probably making mistakes. Andre Onana kept us in this game. If he had we considered a goal early, one of those strong shots he blocked, he parried away, probably Harry Maguire wouldn't even put on the good performances he had, because always in the set pieces, which I think we are training on so well in terms of our set pieces, not defending them, because we are again very suspect when it comes to defending them, and it's frustrating. But every corner that Bruno was taking was trying to find the head of Harry Maguire, and he did. And Maguire always had a touch on the ball. I think he was near picture perfect with his crosses in the corner. I thought that was brilliant. So Andre Onana, if I'm to rate him out of 10, I would give him 8.5. This was a beautiful game. If he can keep playing like this, trust me, we are going to forget about David De Gea so fast. And I think for me, the credit goes to his national team coach. The national team coach, Rigobert Song, did well to bench him, because that message calmed him down. He needed that break, Onana. Onana needed to be on the bench for some time for him to resurrect and calm down. He has gone through all this stardom, private jets, and what have you. Now he looked like a goalkeeper, concentrating on the football, coming out of his line at the right time to clear the ball, running well, making the right runs, the right saves. He was always so focused. There is a smart free kick that Aston Villa took, where they had two players as if in an offside position, and they tried to feign him, to confuse him to follow them. But, and after that, the free kick taker puts it on his near post. He kept his guns and he was watching the ball, and he was there. Beautiful football from Andre Onana. Give him his credit. That's, for me, one key observation in this game. Second observation, like I keep saying, we concede a lot of balls in the middle. Eric Ten Hag has got to learn to respect opponents in the Premier League. He is so fascinated with the attack, which is good because you want to goals, and goals win games for you in football. but we expose ourselves way too much. We leak so much through the middle. Hadn't Andre Onana been alert, we would have conceded so many stupid goals through the middle. Kobe Maino was off. I felt Kobe Maino was off. He was not covering his gaps. Casemiro was as if playing alone in that holding midfield. Yes, Maino had his good moments. I don't get it twisted, especially in the second half, he improved. But I think Erik ten Hag has got to be solid, and we need to balance our midfield every game consistently. We need to play with two holding midfielders blocking all the two. If you have the rectangle in two, one blocking on the right, one blocking on the left, and be there. In fact, for us when we were playing football, they would tell us they didn't want us to cross to the other side where the number 8 would play, because the number 6 and number 8 are the two blocking midfielders you would have. We need to play that way with a double pivot. If we don't, we will be leaking goals through the middle and exposing Onana and our defenders, especially now that Licha is not there. Our defenders, Varane and Harry Maguire, are not good with 1v1 situations. They will never be. They've got other strength, but they are not good at that. They have got to be covered by our holding midfielders. But when you play Casemiro alone in that role, he is going to always be suspect, and he's going to be always very susceptible to making errors, to committing unnecessary fouls, because he's trying to cover so much ground, yet he cannot do it anymore. That's why almost every other game is getting a card. We are lucky that in the second half we managed the game so well. Of course, because of his experience, I thought he was impeccable. If you honestly, and at the end of this video, I'll give you a proper dissection of how I thought each player performed. But honestly, Casemiro did well in the second half. I was worried that he could get a second yellow. I think Erik ten Hag spoke to him and told him, keep it calm, brother. Keep it calm. Kobe Maino also stepped up his game in the second half. I thought he performed better. In the first half, he was almost off for the most part of the game. He had only a few moments where he showed up, but the spaces that Aston Villa were getting were always coming through from Kobe Maino's zone, because he was not as if properly directed on where he needs to play, because we are not clearly playing a double pivot. We need to play double pivot, especially in the Premier League, which is too intense. The intensity is too high and it is too direct. You need a double pivot to slow them down. That's an improvement we need to make. Otherwise, the good goalkeeper Onana will still be exposed if we don't do that. Very important. That third point that for me I took from this game, guys. When shall we give Diogo Dalot his flowers? Diogo Dalot is an extremely different footballer. Every day, Diogo Dalot gets better. For me, every day that passes, Diogo Dalot gets better. He looks, and I feel like he plays strictly to the instructions of the boss, because there are games where he comes and keeps cutting inside, adding to the midfield. This game, I think he was told, keep it on the right wing. He did not step in the middle to try and support the midfield. He was always defending and overlapping, Diogo Dalot is going to be such a star. I feel for Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He will be on the bench defending. Of course, Wan-Bissaka needs to return soon, certainly, because now that Luke Shaw is not in that game, and we'll get an update about him, what exactly happened with Luke Shaw. Was it a tactical substitution, or is he actually injured again? If he is, then we need to pray that Wan-Bissaka comes so that he goes on the left. Diogo Dalot cannot be moved on the right. He's the perfect player to be playing on the right wing. We can't have Victor Lindelof playing on the left for the games to come, not even against Luton in the next game. Lindelof proved that he's not match fit yet. He was completely off. He was not match fit at all, and I don't blame him. He was not match fit and he was playing out of his natural position. So honestly, he was going to have the jitters, but he managed to hold it on. Casemiro had a brilliant game, I felt. Rasmus Højlund, 5 goals and 2 assists already in the last 5 games. What a baller. He just won't stop scoring. I told you, when you pass the ball to this boy, he will get you the goals. That's exactly what he needs. And when it's happening, he's scoring. And that's exactly how you need to play. We perhaps had moments where we mismanaged this game, but by and large, I want to give credit to the boys that we were able to win it, to hold it together and win the game, have the right attitude and mentality, even when we're at 1-1 and it looked like Aston Villa were getting back into the game. We held our own and got the result. That's the character of a team pushing for the top 4 that knows that each game you're playing is a final, considering the position we put ourselves into. I honestly think this team, like I've been saying, can still finish among the top 3. Garnacho, Of course, always nothing exciting, exceedingly good. He does what he does, always does. He's always, I think he's the one player who, even when he doesn't score, has tried to be a bit consistent with his performance. And I think, except the game against Tottenham, Garnacho looked a bit suspect. But I think, for the most part, he's the one consistent player with his performances and what he does on the pitch. Marcus Rashford was there, quite decent and but average. His decision making for me is always questionable. I question the decisions he makes at times. When he's supposed to be passing the ball to Rasmus Højlund, he's trying to go for goal, yet he's not in a good position. His decisions can be suspect, but at times when he gets them right, he looks extremely good. So that's Bruno is looking like he's not working so hard. Bruno has for the longest time suffered with this team because he has been doing a lot of the donkey work. I feel like the rest of his teammates have stepped up their game, and he's beginning not to frown a lot. He's not suffering a lot, which you'll have to see. Scott McTominay is an impact player. With new contract extension for Scott, reward him with more 20,000. He's earning £6,000 per week. Put him on 80. It's okay. Put him to on 8 or even 100. It's okay because his mentality and attitude for me is brilliant. He's kept off the bench. He was starting at some point, but now he knows and he has accepted that he's a bench player, but he will concentrate on the game on the bench, come on and be in the right positions and score an important goal. It cannot be by mistake. It's the mark of a player who has got the right mentality and attitude, a player who has got the heart of the club, and a player who is focused, who is humble. I love it. Even his post-match interviews sound good. When all the lights are, all the floodlights are pointing to him, he's not carried away, which you love to see. He's a well-groomed footballer and an important player for Manchester United. Out of 10, very fast rating these players: Andre Onana, 8.5 out of 10. Harry Maguire, 8 out of 10. For me, now that's for me, because for me, Onana was the man of the match. Diogo Dalot, 7.5 out of 10. Who else? Left back Luke Shaw got off a bit. I will not give give him max because he played only one half. Then look at Varane. I'll give him a 7 out of 10. Going to the middle, Casemiro, 7.5 out of 10. Jacobi Maino, his worst game, 6.5 out of 10. He can do a lot better than he did. Bruno, I would give him his corners. He doesn't. It's 7 out of 10. Then Marcus Rashford, 6.5 out of 10. He was not really exciting. Rasmus Højlund, 7 out of 10. Garnacho, 7 or 6.8 out of 10. For Alejandro Garnacho. Scott McTominay did what he had to do when he came off the bench. He gets his 10 out of 10. He was perfect when he came off the bench. That's what he was supposed to do, and he did it. Hotspot, subscribe. My name is Webb. Manchester United is slowly coming back. A few areas to be improved. Avoid leaking through the middle, and you will be unstoppable. Subscribe. I'll catch you later.